Hello and welcome to Nikolai's genetics lessons, and today's problem is which of the four trees below depicts a different pattern of relationship than the others. Sometimes you can find phylogenetic trees that looks completely different, but actually they show the same relationship between taxa. This type of problems are easy to solve, but sometimes students spend too much time analyzing each phylogenetic tree and they run out of time. This happened also to me. Out of 25 questions I solved on time 22 and just run out of time with 3 questions, and I have to choose random answers on my exam. So today I want to show you how to approach this type of problems in order to save a time. First of all, there are different approaches. For example, we can start analyzing each phylogenetic tree with a root, and as you see, each phylogenetic tree here has a root, and we can move from the root and up to the terminal branches. Or we can say that this is going to be branches and this is going to be leaves on the branches. The other approach would be to find the most complex part in such phylogenetic tree. For example, it's going to be this part here, and start analyzing this whole tree from this most branched part, because probably this is going to be a part where it would be easier to hide some differences between these phylogenetic trees. For example, here we have taxon T, E, and recent common ancestor, which is here, and we can join them into one group, which is going to be a clade. So this is going to be a clade here. Now let's analyze, for example, this one. D and E would be here. So let's also highlight them. D, E, and most recent common ancestor here. And again, we can circle them because they would make a clade. On the other D, we have T and E here. Most recent common ancestor here. And we also can circle them. They're going to make a clade in this phylogenetic tree. On the diagram C, we also see D and E, and most recent common ancestor is going to be here, and we can also circle them and arrange them into one clade. So far so good. Now if we move down to the root from this clade, we are going to see that this clade has recent common ancestor with taxon C. And again, we can arrange them in even bigger clade, which is going to be here, and which also include taxon C. Now let's move to this phylogenetic tree, and what we see here, that clade D and E with taxon D and E has most recent common ancestor with another taxon B. And as you see, this is different from what we see here, D and E. We can arrange with taxon C in one clade. But here, we can arrange D and E into one clade with taxon B. And these two diagrams would be different, but which one is correct and which one is not? We have to analyze also these two. For example, if we analyze D, we see that diagram D, this clade D and E, this taxon also has recent common ancestor with B. So let's put recent common ancestor here, B here, and let's circle them into one clade. Now we see that diagram B and D show the same type of relationship between different taxa, but now let's analyze the last one, C, clade, which includes E and D taxon, also has recent common ancestor, which is here with taxon B, and we can arrange them into one clade. And again, this shows us that C, D, and B, these phylogenetic trees, show the same relationship between different taxa, but phylogenetic tree A show different relationship between different taxa. And as you see, this is our choice. And my last comment would be that in order to solve this type of problems under 1 minute, you just have to practice solving this type of problems, and you would be able to solve them very easily and very fast. And this is all for today. Subscribe and see you in the next video. Goodbye.